answers to the first exercise. Today we are going to deal with the different operations on matrices. The different operations on matrices which we are to learn are addition, subtraction of matrices, multiplication of a matrix by a scalar, multiplication of two matrices, and transpose of a matrix. Today we will be dealing with the first three operations on matrices. Let's start the addition of matrices using an example. Here is the example. Given A equals, a matrix is given. Can you tell me the order of the matrix? There are 2 rows and 3 columns of the matrix. So it's of order 2 by 3, which we had learned yesterday. Now, the other matrix is also of order 2 by 3. Now, the condition for adding 2 matrices is that they should be of the same order. Otherwise, you can't add 2 matrices. So, let me give you the answer to it. A plus B. It will be a new matrix which will be of the same order 2 by 3. And the elements will be, the corresponding elements will be the sum of the corresponding elements of the matrices A and B. So, the first element A11 of A plus B will be root 3 plus 2. Similarly, you can add each of the elements, corresponding elements of A and B to get the matrix sum. Now, pause the video, find the answer to it and come back. Now, let's check the answer. So, the elements are root 3 plus 2, 1 plus root 5, 0, 0, 6, 1 by 2. Got it right? Can we simplify it further? No, because root 3 is irrational and 2 is rational. Same way, 1 is rational and root 5 is irrational. You can't add a rational to irrational. So, keep it like this. This is the answer to it. You can do the subtraction of 2 matrices the same way as you have done the addition. Means you have to subtract each of the corresponding entries of the second matrix from the first matrix to get the difference of the 2 matrices. The next operation is a multiplication of a matrix by a scalar. So, let's consider a matrix A with its entries Aij and which is of order m by n. So, in this case, if you are asked to multiply this matrix with a scalar k, so that you have to find Ka, where K is some scalar. What will you do? You will multiply that matrix with the scalar K. How will you do? You will multiply each of the elements in the matrix with the scalar K. That means you will be getting a new matrix with each entry multiplied by the scalar K. So, what is the negative of a matrix? You'll get negative A by multiplying a matrix with negative 1. That means the scalar there is negative 1. Now that we are going to stop the different operations on matrices, what we are going to do now is we are going to deal with the properties of matrix addition and properties of scalar multiplication. Now, coming to the properties of matrix addition, the 4 properties of matrix addition are: first one, the commutative property; second one, the associative property; third one, the existence of additive identity; and fourth, existence of additive inverse. So, let's deal with the first property, which is a commutative property. Let us have 2 matrices. Matrix A equals Aij, matrix B equals Bij. Both should be of the same order. Let us consider it as of order m by n. So, when you add A and B, A plus B equals, how will you add? These two matrices, when you are adding, each of the corresponding entries you will be adding. That means you will be adding Aij and Bij of the two matrices. But these two are numbers. Aij and Bij are numbers. So you can add them in any order. So you can write it as Bij plus Aij. So what is this? Matrix Bij plus matrix Aij, which is nothing but B plus A. So what does this mean? You can add matrices in any order. Now comes the second property, which is called the associative property. For that we need three matrices of the same order. Let's take the three matrices as A, B and C. And what we are to do is, you have to prove that A plus B plus C is equal to A plus B plus C. What does this mean? When you add a third matrix to the sum of the first two matrices, you are getting the same matrix as the first matrix added to the sum of the second and third matrices. So how will you prove it? So let's find A plus B plus C. That means first you are going to add the first two matrices. So the new matrix will be, each of the entries will be Aij plus Bij for this sum. And to this you are adding the new matrix Cij to it. So how will you add them? It will be like Aij plus Bij plus Cij. But we know that these three are numbers, Aij, Bij and Cij. So addition is associative in that case. So you can do it like this: Aij added to the sum of Bij and Cij. Now we can split it here, so that this is the sum of matrix Aij plus the sum of the second and the third matrix. So what does this mean? This is A plus B plus C. The next property is existence of additive identity. Now let's consider a matrix A equals Aij of order m by n. Okay. Now what is the identity under addition for any real numbers? It is 0. Why? Because when you add 0 to any number, we'll get the same number back. That means 0 is a number which would never harm the other number. So can you tell me which is that matrix which will never harm any of the matrices when you add that matrix to them? Yes, it is the 0 matrix. We usually use the letter O for the 0 matrix, so that A plus O equals O plus A equals A, because when you add the 0 matrix to any matrix A, we'll get the same matrix back. And the order of 0 matrix is the same as the matrix to which it gets added to. Let A equals Aij be a matrix of order m by n. Now, what is the additive inverse of the number 2? It is negative 2. Why is it so? Because negative 2, when added to 2, you will get 0 as the answer, which is the additive identity. So, which will be the other matrix which, when added to this A, you will get the additive identity or the 0 matrix as the sum? Yes, each of the elements of A should be of the opposite sign. So, which is the additive inverse of A? Negative of A is the additive inverse of A, which is nothing but each of the element of A will multiply with negative 1. So, negative A is the additive inverse of A. Next, going to the properties of scalar multiplication. The first property is K into A plus B equals Ka plus Kb. Means when you are multiplying a scalar K to the sum of two matrices A and B, it is the same as the sum of the matrices each we get it by multiplying K with each of the corresponding matrix. So K into A plus B equals Ka plus Kb. The second property regarding the scalar multiplication is, if K and L are two scalars, that K plus L into A is equal to Ka plus La. That means the sum of two scalars, when it is multiplied to a matrix, it is the same as each of the scalar multiplied with the matrix and the sum of the two matrices. This will be more clear once you do problems based on it. Let us start doing problems. Let's start with the question, which is example 8 of the NCERT textbook. Question is, if A equals, it's a 3 by 2 matrix. Look at the rows: 8, 0, 4, minus 2, 3, 6. B equals 2, minus 2, 4, 2, negative 5, 1. Then find the matrix X such that 2A plus 3X is 5B. So you are to find the matrix X now. You are given the matrices A and B. So we can do it just like solving linear equations. Keep 3x over here. Take 2a, the matrix 2a to the other side, or subtract 2a from 5b. So you can find this matrix using subtraction of matrices. 5b will be a new matrix where 5b is the matrix B, each of the entries of the matrix B multiplied by 5. And 2a is another matrix where each of the entries of A is multiplied by 2. So how will you find X then? X is 1/3 of each of the entries of 5b minus 2a. This is how we do it. So I have written the matrices 5b and 2a which I got by multiplying each of the entries of B with the number 5, and A is multiplied by 2. So 5b is a new matrix: 10, negative 10, 20, 10, negative 25, 5. And 2a is a matrix: 16, 0, 8, negative 4, 6, 12. So now I am going to subtract these two matrices. So it is like 1 by 3, 10 minus 16, negative 6, negative 10 minus 0, 20 minus 8, 12, 10 minus negative 4, 14, negative 25 minus 6, which is negative 31, 5 minus 12, which is negative 7. So what is the answer to this? The new matrix X, the matrix X is negative 6 by 3, which is negative 2, negative 10 by 3, which you can't simplify it further, it is negative 10 by 3, now 12 by 3, which is 4, 14 by 3, negative 31 by 3, and negative 7 by 3. So this is the new matrix. Next is example 9 of the NCERT textbook. The question is, find x and y if x plus y equals 5209, x minus y equals 360, negative 1. You are to find two matrices x and y whose sum is given and the difference is also given. How will you find it? It is very simple. What will you get if you add these two matrices? That means x plus y plus x minus y is the sum of these two matrices. That is 5 plus 3, 8, 2 plus 6, 8, 0 plus 0, 0, negative 1 plus 9, 8. So you got this matrix as a sum of the given two matrices. So what is x plus y plus x minus y? it is 2x. 2x is 8, 8, 0, 8. So what is x? Divide each of the element with the number 2. So what is x? It is 4, 4, 0, 4. Isn't it that simple? Thus we got x as 4, 4, 0, 4. Now our task is to find y. How will you find y? You've got two things here. You can use any one among those. X plus y is 5209. So what is y? Y is this matrix minus x. 5, 2, 0, 9 minus x. What is that x? We have already found it. 4, 4, 0, 4. Just subtract it. You are getting it. 5 minus 4, 1. 2 minus 4, negative 2. 0 minus 0, 0. 9 minus 4, 5. Now that we have got it, it's very easy. Homework time. The homework for today is examples 10, 11, exercise 3.2, questions 1 and 2. See you in the next class.